So Trigg is it is a critical minerals explorer. It's relatively new to that space. The company itself has had quite a diverse history. It started in the SOP game and then has moved into low sulfidation epithermal systems in the Drummond. But the opportunity was presented through the Chinese closing the door on the export market for antimony, and Trigg were very quick to respond, grabbing as much ground as they could and reposition themselves as a critical mineral player. Okay, so we engaged a guy out of South Africa, Neil Pendock from Dirt Exploration. Neil's a remote sensing specialist. He works primarily with satellite imagery, and he focuses on the visible and near infrared and the shortwave infrared and some other radar detectors. I guess the key thing is that what he does is that he takes the reflected signal, because it's just a pixel like in a camera, like in your computer screen, and any pixel is a combination of a number of factors, a number of minerals, or it could be vegetation, it could be a house, it could be whatever, and he will essentially strip that signal out. And if he can strip that out of the way, anything that's obscuring the metals, it will promote the metal signature through. And that's basically what he's done here. Now, he found that our signals were quite noisy because of the vegetation. It's all very thick over there, it's very lush. And so he started to play with the gas, the gas responses. And he focused on two in particular, being the methane and the mercury. And the reason for that is that methane is involved in the mineralizing process for these systems. And of course, mercury is part of the mineralizing system in itself. So there is mercury as either mercury metal or cinnabar in the Wild Cattle Creek deposit, which is the key deposit on the Achilles Project. So essentially, it's detectable by these remote tools, and he can map the vapor trail, if you like. And where he sees that vapor trail, he associates that with stibnite or antimony. And therefore, what it's done is it's opened up a whole series of anomalies across the Achilles Project, and many of these are subparallel to the Bealsdale fault, which makes us believe that they are probably related positions. So we've got a number of subparallel faults which are potentially mineralised, much like the Bealsdale. I think the big thing, of course, is that we've got an amazing resource in the Wild Cattle Creek, which we expect to grow significantly. We've got the Bealsdale fault, which hosts the Wild Cattle Creek deposit, and it's got mineralisation along its 6 kilometre length that we have captured by the Achilles Project. Obviously, we're going to grow that resource. We're going to try and, identify one or two more. As I said, with the gas work, it's opened up a whole nother realm, I guess, of opportunities within the project area. So what are we really trying to do? Well, we're ultimately just going to try and grow the resource, and then we'll see what options become available, whether it's to process ourselves, whether we toll with Lovato, what offtake arrangements we can come to, what funding we can source out of governments, etc. All of these become options as we, I guess, firm up our foothold. The next steps are we're going to restate the resource using new cutoffs and taking into consideration the stibnite or antimony-rich alteration salvage that we have at Wild Cattle Creek. We're then going to feed that into a scoping study, and then of course we're going to step out along strike. As I just discussed, there's 6 other positions known at this point in time, which all require drilling, and then there's the possibility of a number of parallel structures which are also going to need due consideration. So they'll be built up, I would imagine, via geophysics, some soil geochemistry, some mapping, and then ultimately drilling. Funding opportunities for us, I think, given it's a critical mineral, we know that the Americans are desperate for antimony, especially in light of world events currently. We certainly know that the New South Wales government is very supportive of the antimony space at this point in time and wants to see the industry develop. So there'll be obviously some reach out there. And the Australian government itself will probably look to become potential funding partners in some capacity. So I think there's plenty of access to funds at this point in time.